don't make use of data in its raw state. It's unprocessed, it is unorganized. So when you process data, you you get information. Yes, information will tell you what happened, but the fact that two people are fighting does not mean that you understand or you know why they are fighting. You cannot see two people fighting without a cause. Something must have led to it. Okay. The fighting is just what is happening, but there is a reason why they are fighting. So, information is not enough for you to make a decision. Okay. It's not enough for you to make a decision. So, you have to go to the knowledge level whereby you now understand what happened. Sorry, why what happened actually happened, right? Then from there, you move to wisdom, where you take action. Wisdom is the application of knowledge. Don't act in business until you know why what is happening in your business is so. Okay? You must understand why it happened. Your employees are leaving. That's what is happening. You must understand why they are leaving. Sales is going down, revenue is going down. You must understand why the revenue is going down. Revenue is going down is what is happening. But there is a reason behind that. That's the knowledge. Okay. So now that you know what is happening, sorry, why what is happening, what do? You have to act. Act based on the knowledge you have so that you can stop people from leaving your company. You can stop sales revenue from going down and improve your processes just like that. Okay. So data analysis is a very sweet subject. I'm trying to go. It's taking me back. Why are you taking me? Sorry, I'm using totally just I'm using a roller, so okay. All right. So for those of us that have not joined us, it is no longer our fault. We have wasted time. All right. So we said the process, the data analytics process, analysis process. That's what we'll be doing. We said there is a concept. This is my own concept of understanding it. When you eventually become a pro, you can determine your own concept of remembering whatever you need to remember, right? But for me, this is what I have designed, and it has been helping me. So I call it the PAVAS, right? The P stands for the problem. The A stands for approach design. So the approach design is more or less like a game plan, right? So in the page, you are going to see game plan, not approach design. It's more or less like a game plan. You plan out how you want the analysis to flow. Okay. Then stage 3 is the input. This is where you get data. By you collecting data, that data is in a raw form, in a raw state. So you have to what? To clean that data. You have to transform it. And if you have series of data structures, you have to model them, meaning that you have to link them together due to the relationship between the tables. Then you visualize your data and analyze your data. So the analysis now will now have to do with you checking for what? You're checking for patterns, you're checking for trends, right? You're checking for something that is just unusual. Those are the findings you get. Then you recommend. During your storytelling, as your presentation of your findings, you have to what? Recommend. Like I said, there are two terms that are very, very important. The first one is insight. The second one is actionable insight. The first one is insight, which means what? Findings. These are the things that I found out from from my analysis. Okay. Then actionable insight is okay, these are recommended actions that we should take so that we can guide against further decrease in our revenue or something, right? So we're going to be taking them one after the other. The whole essence of data analytics training is just this diagram that you're looking at right now. So it kind of gives you a map. It gives you a map, right, to avoid distractions. I think I said it yesterday. Somebody was asking during the webinar, can I learn? Yes, you can learn online. There's no issue. But if you don't have a map, you will learn everything in learning. And you will get confused very well. Then you will have no goal, no aim, and you will get lost. Then you start telling people data analytics is difficult to learn. No, it's not difficult. One of the reasons why you are being trained is for you to be given a roadmap so that you can follow through and also build on it. You can build on it. There are people at the end of the training, all they do is just for them to what? All they want to do is for them to just be able to understand how you define problems, data analysis problem. There are some, all they do is data cleaning. When it comes to data cleaning, they can clean your data based on the problem that you want to solve and the approach that you want to use. Then there are others, they are referred to as the BI analysts, that's a business intelligence analyst. What they do is they understand BI tools very well. And with the BI tools, they can visualize data and interpret that data, right? Then there are some, they just concentrate on storytelling. Once it comes to presenting data findings, they are just there. So you now decide at the end of the training where you want to specialize, and it will really help you. It will help you. Okay. So the first one we're going to be looking at today is what? The problem definition. Right? I said yesterday, a lot of persons, they jump into analysis without really understanding the problem that they are solving. This is one of the most important, if not the most important step in data analytics. Sorry, I'm sounding so tired. Just came in a few minutes ago. So the problem definition is one of the most important, if not the most important step in data analysis. Why would I want to analyze data when I do not have any problem that I'm looking at? Why would I want to analyze data when there is no context to it? Why would I want to analyze data when there is no no questions to answer? So it all starts with the problem. Okay? So what problems are you solving for? It's very important that we understand that, okay, this series of data that we have, yes, we've been given, but what do we do with it? This step will take your time. This step will demand your creativity. This step would demand your subject knowledge matter or matter, a subject matter knowledge, or whichever way you call it, right? Your expertise, your experience, okay? This step will test your capacity to be strategic in solving problems. He said, a problem well defined is half solved. This is the step where you break down the problem to understand what we need to look for. If somebody comes and drops on your table a problem and says the revenue of this company for the past 6 months has been what? Plummeting. It has been going down. Okay. So that person is a layman. He needs a solution. But to you as a data analyst, revenue going down is not actually the problem. That's what is currently what happening. But it's not the problem. You're feeling headache is not the sickness or the problem that you have. So you are telling the doctor, I am feeling headache. In fact, my head is about to pull up. The doctor is saying beyond the headache that the headache is just an adverse effect of what is what? What is it? Sorry, a symptom of what is happening. If you have malaria, you can have headache. If you have typhoid, you can have a headache. If you have well, so the headache is just a signal of the problem. So that's why it is necessary and very important that you define the problem that you have solved. So what are you solving for? Okay. I need to carry this one up so that I can. All right, fine. So it is the first step where you clearly figure out what issue or question you want to solve using data. It's like identifying the exact problem before looking for solutions. Yes. Then data giving can solve over 100 problems. The data you have been given can solve over 100 problems. That's why, as a data analyst, you have to be very observant. Most times, you are solving for a particular problem. As you are checking your data and analyzing it, you get an opportunity. A new stream of income has just been discovered for your company. So you have to be open minded, but you need a direction. Yes, this is what I'm solving for, but this is what I came out at the end of the day. right? Then says without a clear problem definition, the data might not be helpful because you want to know what you are trying to solve. That's exactly. You won't know what you're trying to solve. That's why at the beginning of the year, they tell you write your goals so that from January you know what you are aiming at. The same thing happens in data analytics. So the key to becoming a good data analyst hangs on having a focused understanding of the problem, having a clear quest. I've been saying the same thing over and over again, and I want it to register in our memory. Here's how to approach problem definition. One, identify the issue. What's the overarching challenge or pain point? This is the broad problem that needs what? Solving, right? Then that says understand the impact. So this problem now that is happening, what has it affected? Take for example, revenue is going down. What will revenue going down affect in the company? Who is in the class here? Let me know. So you can see that one, you identify the issue and what's the implication, understand the implication of that particular problem. So the third thing you need to do is to break down the problem, divide the problem into smaller components, into smaller what? Components. If revenue is going down, that doesn't mean that nothing is working in the company. Okay? Then it therefore means that if A, B, C, D, and E are the products we have in the company, are all the products affected? It may just be that only two products are affected, B and C, right? So if B and C are affected, it takes us to the next one, which is specify the variables. What factors might influence this problem? What are the factors that influence this problem? It could be number one, the sales rep. Number two, it could be the territory or territory. It could be, there are a lot of factors. It could be the quantity of the product. It could be that the products that we have been pushing that way does not really work. It could also be that our campaign for that product is not really working. There are things that affect those two products, B and C, that is making them not to work to sell. So if you have 5 products, maybe all these 5 products were once selling in all markets, and all of a sudden you are experiencing decrease in revenue. Therefore, means that one or two or three of those products are not what are no longer selling well. So you need to find out why they are no longer selling and specify the variables. I'm going to give an example. The example is sales problem definition. Okay, what was the identify the issue? Sales have dropped by 50% over the last quarter. Understand the impact. This decline is reducing what? Revenue. Then understand the implication. What's the impact of this drop? It says this decline will reduce what? Revenue, which will affect profitability and future stock management. The third one says break down the problem. Are all products experiencing this drop or just certain categories? Are specific regions or customer segments more affected than others? Those are the things that you need to find out. There are questions you need to answer. So specify the variables. Factors could include customer preferences, product pricing, marketing efforts, or economic conditions which are affecting it.